Hey, what's up, everybody? Rob Barrington here, live for a special Friday challenge right here for you. We're playing a robot challenge, and we're gonna score it with imps for now. And maybe if we get through this pretty quickly, I have some spare time. Maybe we'll throw in some other challenges. Maybe we'll do like a quick declare challenge for a few boards. But I've started us out with an 8 board imp challenge, and take a look at this first hand, folks. Look at this hand. This is I did not set this up. This is a totally random scenario, just like all the challenges are. I'd like you to pop in your opening bid, folks. For those of you watching here, make your opening bid. What would you do with this hand? And this is a really interesting spot because not only is it a really well shaped hand, it's super strong, right? We have 22 total points. 22 high card points, and we're 5-5. So it's tough sometimes when you're really severely two suited. You might just jump in and start at the 1 level because you to describe, but you should fear missing a game with this sort of hand, especially if you find a minor suit fit, or if partner just has some sort of value. You're going to make a lot of games here. So here, as much as I would be okay sometimes even with more shape to open 1 diamond, I'm just afraid it's going to go 1 diamond, I'll pass. So I'm going to open 2 clubs and see where we end up. Again, we're playing imps as well, so keep that in mind, which means in general, when we're dealing with imps, we're going to be more aggressive when it comes to our games. We're going to be less competitive usually at lower levels. We still want to be smart bridge players, but it's not as necessary for us to be competing as aggressively in spots because the plus and minus scores, the small details won't matter as much in these spots. So example is 3 no trump making 4 versus 4 spades making 4. In match points, the person playing 3 no trump making 4 gets an absolute stone cold top, whereas in imps they get the same exact score, right? So there's no benefit to getting a little bit extra. It's more just being smart and getting the big plus scores when you can. And here, if you're thinking of in an imp format, if you're thinking, do I be passive or should I be aggressive? The aggressive stance is your best choice. So here we're going to start with 2 clubs, and we will see what happens. The obligatory response there of 2 diamonds. And now the question is, what the heck do we do? so with the robots, it's super tough. If we rebid 2 no trump, which would show a balance 22-24, we're lying about our shape. We may be making the easiest call for our side, but the problem is our major suit holdings. And the real big problem, folks, is this one, right? So usually when we decide to show some sort of balanced hand by bidding no trump, we end up seeing a transfer to hearts, and then and then we play it there. So it's a super tough spot because really when we're 5-5, we want to bid our highest ranking suit. But now we're at the 3 level. I think that's what we're going to do anyway. What I hope is I hear partner bid hearts now, and now I bid 3 no trump. So here, let's see what happens over 3 diamonds. Ooh, partner just bids 3 no trump. What does it say? Okay, interesting. So look at this. This, for some reason, is the robot's double negative. And I guess it's the agreement they have. And take a look at the logic behind this. This is a really interesting hand for the first spot here. When we open 2 clubs, we've essentially made a game forcing bid unless partner shows an absolute minimum. Some partnerships agree that immediately 2 clubs, 2 hearts is their I have the worst hand ever. I hate that agreement, to be honest. I like this agreement that the robot is saying they have, which is on their second bid, if they bid the cheapest minor available, that's the double negative. But you can see the problem. Their cheapest minor available now is 4 clubs. Right, so in this spot, they're bidding 3 no trump to show this. Essentially, that's what this cheaper minor is saying, and that's what they're trying to signify, that they have the worst possible hand in response. So here, we're just guessing. We can pass and hope we're getting a good score in 3 no trump, or we can just bid 4 clubs and pattern our hand out. This is most likely going to result in us either playing 4 or 5 of a minor. Here, I'm willing to take a chance on this one. In worst case scenario, we go down in a game. Best case, we just get a game score on the card early here. So I'm going to pass. I don't love it. And honestly, this is a problem auction. When you have when you have a strong 2-club opener and you have diamonds, it becomes an untenable, or clubs for that matter. It becomes an auction where you've chewed up so much room to describe your hand, even at the basic level, the first step, that we may just be in spots where we have to make a tough choice, and we're going to do that here by passing. I kind of wish I bid 2-no trump now, because now we probably would have played 2-no, I'm guessing. Let's see. Oh, no, partner probably would have kicked it into game. In fact, they might have incorrectly bid Stamen for us. So here, it looks like we have a chance. Let's put it that way. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners, and we are very likely, not very likely, diamonds are likely to break, let's put it that way. They're more likely to break, or at least if they're breaking 4-1, we might have some of those times where the 1 is a stiff jack. So that could be magic there. So here, it looks like we're doing okay. We would love to hold up in hearts, but you know, the rules of bridge do not allow it. You can't revoke and then come back and play the ace of hearts. They don't. The director will be called pretty quickly in those scenarios. So here, guys, take a look. What would you play first on this one? Now that we have a few people in the audience here, and welcome to all of you. Just don't be afraid. You can type into the chat. This is, by the way, last week, not this week we're talking about, but the previous week, I lost like 3 versions of the challenge that I usually pre-record. So this is kind of a payback for that, for all of you guys that missed those. Hey, Krish, what's up? Yeah, running diamonds makes a whole bunch of sense early in this hand. The one issue here is the spade suit. So if I might be able to get an entry to dummy over there, I might be able to, if this were a match point scenario, I certainly would maybe try to create a spade trick. But first, I'm going to see if diamonds are actually breaking, right? So let's plunk down the ace of diamonds. If we see the jack in this first or second trick, we might try something in spades because that'll give us an entry. And we get the worst case scenario in diamonds as usual, right? So here we have a bad break, and we also know, guys, that we are in some pretty dangerous waters, right? We're in a 3-no trump contract where we know we started with only 4 hearts between the 2 hands, and they've already voided us of our only stopper in this suit. So the disaster here is that we can't run diamonds from the top, right? The left-hand opponent has jack 4th of diamonds. Luckily for us, there was nothing we were ever going to do to prevent this from happening, which is good. So let's take another reassessment of our winners here. We started with 3. We still have our queen of diamonds, which is 4, our ace of clubs, which is 5, and our 2 spades, which is 7. Here, I kind of like the idea of playing ace of spades, jack of spades, and hoping they cover. I'm not going to take a spade finesse. Because as you can see, well, let's see, how many hearts do you think they're gonna take there? Let's see, let's say they're taking 5 hearts. Let's say the person that led, or the length, has 6. Not necessarily that likely, unless it's left-hand opponent. And that means they'll take 5 hearts, and if they do take a spade, they will have taken 6 tricks. But let's think about how many tricks do we have? Well, we have enough to go down to the same score, right? If we're going to take 7 winners, you know, that's the most we can do. So here, I like the idea of playing ace of spades, jack of spades, and maybe taking a chance here. But really what we're praying for is we're praying when we play this jack of spades, the left-hand opponent covers. If we played the jack first, hoping for a cover, we're cooked, right? Because we have no entry back to that north hand. So here, let's just fingers crossed see a queen here. We don't see it. I don't think it really costs us anything to finesse, but we're really not gaining any tricks either. This is the problem with a finesse here. Well, if we finesse and it wins, great. But what do we gain? Nothing. They're going to still take hearts and probably some clubs now. So here, I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to take a down 2. And honestly, here, I can play queen of diamonds and exit a diamond and maybe get an extra trick in the end here. So we'll go for maybe 1 more in this realm. At some point, they might have to cash a trick here, and we'll hope for a little more even break in hearts. We're hoping 5-4 is the way it's going for us. There's the cash of the spade, not surprising. And there's the heart. Oh, it did break relatively evenly. And now we did get an 8th trick. Okay, so yeah, we played for down 2, but we ended up going down 1. Here, this might have been a slight switch for the robot. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this hand, right? What will they open? I would guess 2 clubs, but you never know, right? This is a weird hand. They could open a diamond, and if it goes a diamond, let's take a look. I don't think East is going to let it sit for a diamond, right? They're 5-5 in the majors, so they're going to get in there, and maybe even the opponents compete in hearts. If they do, can we go plus in that realm? Yeah, maybe. It depends on how high they go in the heart contract, but I guess we'll find out that result in a few boards here. But at the start, I mean, we took a chance and we went for our game. If we open a diamond and right-hand opponent does come in with something, we will clearly be bidding again, and it'll be interesting to see how that ends up as well. So here, as it turns out, the way the hand is constructed, we just don't have a lot of chances to make it, unfortunately. All right, Krish, so that was the right analysis there at the start. Diamonds would have been the suit we continued to play, and all we're looking for is some sort of spade pitches for our extra tricks, which aren't necessary in the simp contract, the simp scoring format, but are certainly going to be helpful for you. I can't tell you how many times you've seen a match come down to 1 or 2 imps when you know you could have just taken an easy, safe trick. That's the key with imps. If you're taking over tricks, make sure you're safe to take them. In match points, you might try to take over tricks that are somewhat unsafe because the reward is so much greater. In imps, there is no reward, so you do not do it. All right, so 1 diamond to us. Actually, on that last hand, they probably would have played some sort of Michaels, I would guess. Or we'll see what happens. If we get the robot to open a diamond, we'll see maybe a different auction there. But here, the robot does open a diamond, and we have this hand. We are, well, let's see here. Does anyone want to do anything funky today? Let's put it that way. Do we want to get a little weird? I would say if we were non-vulnerable, I might consider in a robot tournament, and this is a little different than our normal garden variety bridge. If I were non-vulnerable, I would frequently consider overcalling a no trump because I have a source of tricks over here. And I like to mess with the robots in that way, and this is a good way to do it. However, when you're vulnerable, you want to avoid getting doubled for penalty really early. Even though you do have a way to bail out, you're going to be showing a lot of extra value. So here, it's okay just to start with hearts. If partner gets in there with something, ooh, partner makes a mixed raise here. Take a look. 3 diamonds. Let's look at this, folks. If you're not familiar with this, this is a great competitive bid to throw into your arsenal. It is totally natural. This is not a conventional agreement. This is just something we always have available. Recognize that we have overcalled at the 1 level. We bid 1 heart here. And when we've done that, our partner has kind of 2 ways to make a Q bid. The 2 diamond bid by this player here, our partner, would show 10 or more points and support for hearts. The jump Q bid has another raise involved in it. Notice we're never going to want to just be bidding their suit naturally, right? We're raising our partner. So that 3 diamond bid actually shows 7 to 9 points and 4 card support for hearts, right? So this is a very descriptive bid. It is somewhat preemptive, and it is also very helpful for the times when we have those intermediate type good hands like 16s and good 15s where we're not sure what to do with a preemptive raise. And notice a 3 heart bid by partner here would be the weakest version of the raise, right? 3 hearts by partner would be the same number of trumps, 4 or more, but less than 7, right? So this is that intermediate type hand. I don't think we want to stretch the game, Krish. No, this is 7 to 9. And picture a 9 count. Can you construct one that you have a reasonable chance of making game? It's pretty tough with this shape, right? We don't have a 6th heart. We don't have any real extra shape in this hand, and all of our honor positions are relatively weak outside of hearts. Queen 3rd of spades in front of the spade bidder to our left. The diamond suit might produce a trick, but it might just go diamond, diamond, rough in the first 3 tricks as well. So here, I think we're very happy partner has made a somewhat preemptive bid. And we will get in here, and we should understand this is one of those split deck hands as well, right? We have 14. Our partner has an average of 8, right? So we really don't want to be in game unless there's a lot of extra shape at play. And if partner had a weird hand here, they might have gotten in and done some more. And here again, they've given us a choice, and we're not going to take it. And this is the difference between, you know, your imps format and others. Some people think, oh, we're vulnerable, we have to get to this game. Well, yes, there's a definition. There's a difference between, you know, good aggressive bidding and insane crazy going for a score bidding, right? And here, I don't think we want to be at the 4 level. In fact, I would guess we would be a favorite to get doubled if we stretched here over 3 spades. So I'm just going to sit back and defend. And maybe partner bit. There you go. So now partner has shown up with some extra shape. And here it's clearly their choice. I want to make it clear with our hand, even though we have extra values, they've limited their hand to 7 to 9. So for our purposes, it doesn't look like we want to compete. And our shape is such that we really don't think we're going to be doing well competing, but our partner has other ideas, and this is just good bridge, we hope. So no double, no trouble. This is good. Oh, it's so weird that partner doesn't bid a game on this one, folks. So this is actually a really interesting spot where they could have made a mixed raise and then bid a game to show something like this, like some sort of weird intermediate type strength hand with a lot of extra shape, because the beauty of the mixed raise is that it's forcing, right? It is 100% forcing. So take a moment, folks, and plan out your play. You're in 4 hearts. What will you play to trick 1? Let's ask that question. Make your play from dummy. And I'll just remind you of the auction if you like. Right-hand opponent started with 1 diamond. And we had this auction, basically. So the moment that dummy comes down, I do a couple of things. I review the auction and I say, okay, what do I know about the hands? So first thing I do is usually count the points when there's been some bids. So I have 14. My partner over there has 8. That's 22. And right-hand opponent opened the bidding. So let's just give them 12. Their kind of minimum opening bid. All right, so that is 20, 34. That means West has about 6. And that sounds about right for the auction, right? About the values around the table here. Now, let's also discuss what is this lead and what should we play in this hand. And the answer is we should see a diamond rough coming, as Chris has correctly put into the chat there. This is a spot where if we just recognize that right-hand opponent is very likely to have 4 diamonds. In fact, we should know they have 4 or more because they cannot have 4-4 in the majors. We know that at most one player on their best day has 3 hearts. And the only time East will open 1 diamond with less than 4 of them is when they're 4-4 in the majors and they're 3-2 in diamonds and clubs. So here we should really be looking at this 6 of diamonds as the singleton that it is. So if we duck it, yeah, we'll set up our diamonds, but now it's going to go king of diamonds, diamond rough, and now 2 club tricks are at play for them. So here we have to be up to the task of jumping up with the ace and recognize we will lose a diamond later, but then we will lose no more tricks, right? So here, ace of diamonds first. We draw trump right away, and boom, we're going to get to do that in 2 rounds. And now, folks, I'm going to play a diamond, right? And the reason I'm going to play a diamond is I have 2 club losers. If I can get diamonds on the table and they don't cash clubs before they get back in, and I'm going to try a little false card here, not that it's going to help, we get a pitch. But here the robots are too smart, and we don't care, though. We're playing imps. Over tricks are not as necessary here as they are in a match point format, so we are just going to claim our game. And that's plus 620 on the card. Very odd choice from partner. Thank goodness they bid a game when it got back to them, but we were preparing to pass this. And let's just look at that hand, folks. That hand, let's go back to it, is just way too strong for a mixed raise and then a pass. Let's put it that way. North should not be passing. At least I wouldn't be. That hand in an imp format could be just psychotically amazing, right? The fact that they should know not only are we likely to either be short in diamonds, but if we have diamond length, that suit might set up. But they have a 5-card heart holding and a stiff ace of spades and 2 clubs. How do we get better than that, right? So here, I think you Q bid with the north hand first, and then you just try to bid a game. You should be certainly showing a stronger version of this. The mixed race is just too weak. All right, let's see another hand here. Where are we up to on board 3? Playing 8 boards, by the way. And again, best hand this time because I want a little more action. The non-best hand sometimes can have, especially in a live format, we just don't want to just be punting on 3 or 4 boards out of the 8. So here, folks, interesting hand. We have 14. I think we can get weird here. There's not a lot of people watching live, so let's get a little weird. I like this. Usually, this is a Murphy's Law thing. I expect to get transferred into hearts, and if we do, it could be really bad for us. But here, I'm going to just start with an aggressive, like, good 14 to 17 no trump, and hope we get to play higher than our opponents. Ooh, you guys know what this is? What's the 3 spade bid, folks? What does it show before I touch it? It's funny that it's not highlighted in red. It is a conventional bid. I think it's still alertable. That 3 spade bid, folks, is not surprisingly called Smolen, and it shows 5 hearts and 4 spades. And this is it's for the sole purpose of making sure the no trump opener plays in the most situations when they've opened the bidding. So here, partner is showing 5 hearts and giving us an option to play in hearts, with the knowledge that we will be bidding that suit first and taking control of the declare play on that. So here, we kind of predicted this before the hand, but luckily they didn't have 6 and force us to play this. So now we get to play a nice, comfortable 3-0. We have a little bit of a hidden hand distribution-wise, and frequently you'll see them leading some of your best suits in these spots when you open this. So not an easy hand to play. One thing we should be excited about, at least at the start, is we should understand that the opponent at the other table is unlikely to be in this game. All right, so we've gained just a little bit, we hope, but this is not going to be an easy one to play. We're going to need to be on our best behavior here. So first things first, I would love to say we have a lot of winners. We don't. But what suit do you think we're going to try to set up on this hand, folks? We might be able to get an extra trick in clubs, especially based on the lead we're seeing. But what other suit would you guys say is a priority on this one? And Krish, I know you're not alone in the audience. There are many more people watching this, folks. So get in there. Don't be afraid to get in there and chat. What do you want to do? What suit do you think is best to play after trick 1? Presuming I would say we're going to win trick 1 no matter what happens here. But what suit should we look to play? Not easy. We have a shy audience today. Well, here, folks, diamonds is the spot, and it's because of 2 reasons. Well, honestly, any suit could be a disaster when we start it. Diamonds has the best potential because we have at least what appears to be entries to this hand, and also we will be able to lead diamonds from the north hand twice, right? We are only able to lead hearts from our hand once, and now we're just kind of blocked. So this is going to be a real blockage issue for us, and the problem on this hand is going to be, okay, if the diamond honors are split, we have a chance, but we're also probably going to need the diamonds to be 3-3. So here, this is a tough spot, and I think we're going to play the jack from the dummy. Now, recognize in a real situation, I would expect the jack to almost always win when we see this deuce of clubs get led from left-hand opponent, because this is a 4th best lead. You would expect them to have an honor over there. It could be the 10, right, which would mean a low club would be best, but for the most part, I would expect the queen to be there. Now, this is the robot. So who knows? But really, my desire to get over to this hand twice is so important that I want to play the jack there, because it's probably going to be my only chance to take this if it's right. And here I want to be in dummy twice because I want to play the diamond finesse twice, right? So I'm going to play the jack. Fingers crossed, folks. Cross them out there. Let's see. Win it. Nope. Not quite. Okay. So at least now we know, okay, if there's the 10 out there, we have a finesse for that card. But the issue here is we have now, avoided an entry, or excuse me, we have compressed our entries to that hand over there, right? So what do you want to do now? This is super weird. I'm going to mess with the robots. I'm going to play a low spade towards the dummy. And I'm going to do this for a couple reasons. It's clear I don't have 4 spades, right? So the robot will know kind of a general count of this suit. But I either want them to lead diamonds themselves, or I would like them to maybe continue leading spades sometimes for me. So here, I'm actually just going to lead a low spade. And I'm hoping for something like this, right? I want them to take the tricks that they're known to have. And now let's see if they fire a club. No, they're firing a heart. But the queen of hearts into ace, king, 9, I'll take that scenario. Okay, we're living. Now I'm going to play a low diamond. I'm going to take one of my finesses here. I have 2 diamonds over there. I don't expect this to win. I do like seeing the king, though. That's a beautiful card. Now we see the 8 of hearts get played, and the question is, what do we do? Well, how many losers have we taken so far? We've taken 2 of them. How many do we have left? If we lose this heart, they could take that and a spade, and maybe we have other losers as well. Let's flip this on its head though. Let's talk about winners. How many do we have now? Well, we've taken 2, and let's assume a rosy picture, right? Let's assume we're taking most of the rest. So here, if we assume we're taking 4 diamonds, that means we're from 2 to 6. If we assume we're taking a spade, that is 7. And the king of hearts is 8. I'm in a club, not a spade. Sorry, guys. And that's only 8 tricks. We might have a finesse for the 10 of clubs. That doesn't seem likely because left-hand opponent led it, but recognize that you can't take more than 1 finesse here, folks. You have to either take a diamond finesse from that side of the table, or you have to take a club finesse. The real problem that they're presenting with to us right now as well is if we don't win this, are we going to be guaranteed to get back to that dummy? No, we're not, unfortunately, as I hope you guys can see. There's not an entry to that dummy yet because the spade suit hasn't been cleared. And honestly, we have no hearts to lead. So here, I'm actually going to win the king of hearts, and I'm going to hope the opponents do something poor in the defense, mainly pitching and or end playing themselves on this hand. So we're going to play the king of hearts. We're going to pitch a club. We're going to take our diamond finesse, and we're going to hope that it's 3-3. Now here, we need it really to be 3-3. So we're going to play the ace of diamonds. So that's a very good card to see. And now we're going to watch, folks. We are going to watch like a hawk. I'm going to pitch a club from dummy because that's not the suit that's going to matter. There's a club pitch there. We'd like to see that. Now I'm going to play a diamond. There's a spade pitch. I'm going to pitch a spade from dummy because that's also going to be a possibility of developing a trick. And now here comes the moment of truth. We could lead a spade here. And let's recognize this. There are 2 ways we can go about this. We can lead a spade and hope to create a trick and that they don't have enough to cash on the side. Or we might benefit if we lead a spade, we might get them to just lead a club towards our hand, right? So either way, this could be good. The problem is I probably should have pitched a little bit better on this one because there is an issue. If we lead a low spade and they just duck it, and we win the jack and dummy, what do we do next? Well, I guess we could maybe end play them again. I don't know. This is a super tough one here. We don't know where the spade honor is, and we also aren't sure how many hearts are out there that are going to be able to be cashed. It seems like more than 1, though, right? Like, did they pitch a heart on this last one? They pitched a club. I think they pitched a heart on the trick before. Azor, very good question. When left-hand opponent earlier led the queen of hearts, I in normal circumstances, yes, I would expect left-hand opponent to have the jack of hearts almost always, and usually the 10 in no trump spots. In a robot sphere, who knows, right? They could just have led queen, knowing partner had jack 10 fourth or something like that. So here I'm struggling on this one. I'm tempted to plunk down the ace of clubs because they have pitched a couple of clubs on this hand, but that could also just be a disaster. But I think, and let's look at the auction. Making this could just be, the win of all time, right? If we go plus for a game and the opponents aren't even in game, we're so far ahead. So it is kind of important for us to get this right. And let's see, can we construct anything from left-hand opponent's hand? So they've won the king of diamonds, so we knew they started with that. We also saw them, they had the spade honor. They hopped up with the king of spades. So they had king of spades, they had king of diamonds, they had queen of hearts. So that's like an 8 count. Right-hand opponent hasn't really shown up with much, right? They've shown up with the queen of diamonds. Lefty could have ace king of spades hopping up with the king like that. What would they have left? If their club lead was right, they would have 2 clubs and a heart left. I'm gonna go for an end play. Let's see what happens here. I think we're probably supposed to play low here. There's the ace of spades. We hope they either have a good heart and clubs or just clubs. All right, so this is great. Yeah, perfect. Okay, now we're set. Boom. Winner, chicken dinner, folks. Going plus on this hand is good. Going plus for a game is magic, I think. Right? I don't think the opponent can find a game on this one, 14 opposite 9. So I think our aggression has proved pretty good on this last one. And notice at the end, we're just lucky that the hearts aren't breaking too badly for us, right? We just get to a position where lefty clearly had the best hand at the table or close to it, along with our hand. And at this moment, I think we probably, it didn't really matter what we did. I think once the diamonds run, we could have played. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we can't here. Can we have played a club? Yeah, we're down one there, so we have to exit a spade to create some sort of trick, and the heart trick just creates itself, right? They are crunching their honors together because they really can't pitch everything. Look at left-hand opponent. They can't pitch down to everything. They need to protect a whole bunch of stuff, and that's the beauty of running a long suit, folks. When you have a long suit to run and they have to make pitches, it's going to get uncomfortable for them. And here you can see Azor, as you ask your question, lefty had the weirdest lead from the heart, queen 10 fourth. So here, obviously, if you're playing normal bridge, folks, you are leading the 7 of hearts. And honestly, on this contract, you can see why they didn't, because they know the Smolen is in play here. But in the middle of the hand, you're not going to plunk down the queen. This is a super weird choice by the robot. Unless they were trying to it looks like they were trying to block us from dummy. If we had Jack Doubleton, I guess there's not much we can do, because now we're still blocked. So I mean, the robot didn't make the worst play of all time, but it is super weird in general. You wouldn't see that normally. All right, next case, folks. Make your opening bid. What are you doing? Or will you open this hand is the question. You're in 4th chair. There's a rule at play here. Does anyone know it? 4th chair. And what I mean by 4th chair, I do not mean the balancing seat, people. I mean when it goes pass, 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 and you are deciding whether to open the bidding or not. And this is the rule of 15. It is a very good rule. It says you add your total high card points to the total number of spades you have in your hand. And the reason behind this is in 4th chair, a pass by us ends the auction, right? We go +0 or -0. So we don't want to have the opponents controlling the spade suit when we're opening kind of light. That's the whole key of this, right? Because when they control the spade suit, they get to determine what level the auction ends at, essentially, right? Or whatever level that they need to push us to, they get to do that, right? So the less spades we have, the more risk we're at by going minus by opening the bidding. So here we have a bunch of spades and we have an opening hand, so we are clearly going to start with 1 spade. Usually you're going to see, yeah, okay, 2 spades here. Make your bid now, folks. What would you do? I'll give you, let's try a poll here. Let's see. I will give you 3 options. 1 is pass, 2 is 3 spades, and 3 is 3 hearts. I'm going to give you guys all of those choices. And this is a piece of really good information that we have here. And I could make this problem a little more difficult by giving you more values, but the correct answer, which almost all of you are getting here, is pass. And it's a pass in any situation because we know partner has 6 to 9 or 6 to a bad 10, but in this seat, when we know we play Drury with our partner, which we do, 2 clubs was an option to show a good raise, which is usually that 9+ or very good 8 or more, right? So in fact, in a realistic circumstance, if you play the Drury convention, you would know even with like a 15 or 16 count, you would probably pass, right? Because partner has the weakest raise they could show in this spot. So it's very important. You don't have game. You might decide to compete in certain situations later if the opponent's balance, which they might do sometimes. But in general, we're just getting to our game, and that is all she wrote. Take a look, folks. Interesting hand over there. Deuce of clubs lead. Interesting. What is that? All right, how many losers are we looking at here, folks? Well, we're looking at enough to know that we're very happy to be in only two. All right, so we have a couple of diamond losers because they've gotten off to this quick club lead. We're going to have a club loser as well. And it looks like we have a spade loser at least and a heart loser. So lots of enough losers to shake a stick at here. So here we have a few ways that we might think we could be successful on this hand. One would be to take advantage of the lead and try to set up this suit. But you should see an immediate problem to that, folks. What is it? What's the problem with trying to set this suit up? And it would be really the only suit I could see that we could potentially set up for extra tricks other than hearts. Hearts if they break 3-3. Yeah, Krish, very good. All right, so here, it's going to take me entries to start setting that club suit up unless the opponents are helpful with their leads, right? It's also going to take entries to realize that once that suit is good, we need to get over there and take those tricks. We're not going to be able to do that unless the opponents are somewhat helpful to us. So here, I'm not even going to duck this. I'm worried on a very side, worry level. I'm worried maybe that's super short in clubs to my left. And on this hand, I think it's just going to be right because we're not going to really be roughing anything to effectiveness, just to draw some trump right away. Here, you might take a safety play to the 10 and break up any sort of bad break here, but you might also just be realizing extra roughs here. So I'm just going to play. There we go. And now that is done, right, we can just sit back and leave the last trump out there. It's the jack. It's a winner for them. And recognize I want to get to the business of maybe roughing a heart if it's not breaking. So I'm going to be a little deceptive here. I'm just going to exit a low heart. I know I have a heart loser, folks. And here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the person that won it didn't have a spade to lead and either didn't cash their spade there, but they're too smart, right? So what I'm trying to do there is just set it up so that if they return a heart or if they allow me to rough a club at some point, I get to play ace of hearts, king of hearts, and rough a heart with that last spade over there. Unfortunately, they're not going to be letting me do that as good as the robots are, and we'll see how many tricks we can take. We're hoping the hearts break. That's the only way we're going to go plus on this. We can see that, okay, the clubs were at least 4-2 at their worst, and at this point, no need to take any sort of finesse. And also, I'm just going to play every card I can until I have to play a heart. Right? Give them opportunities to pitch. Oh, good. They broke, so we're going plus 110. Magic. All right. And when you're playing imps, folks, that scorecard, you want to see scorecards like this. The worst score, obviously, is the first one where we go minus in a game. But the other three, pretty good. Plus scores are plus scores, right? As long as you haven't missed a game or made a terrible play at a high level, you're all set, right? So here, one club. I'm not going to ask you what to do. You guys all know what to do with this hand. You're going to overcall one spade. Partner bids a no trump. Good. Let's see what that is for partner, like 9 to 11. So here, I want to make a bid that shows my partner not only that I have extra spades, but also that I have a good hand, right? My overcall range is about 8 to 17. The beauty of playing with the robots is you can just kind of mouse over and say, okay, which bids are going to be what? I'm going to start with 3 spades and see what that means to them. Pretty close, right? That's 15 plus, maybe a little bit more than we have. What's this one? Is this natural? Okay, that's natural. 2 clubs. I don't know if I want to be doing that. What's 2 no trump? Okay. I don't mind that. I'm tempted to go between 3 spades and 2 no trump. I think 3 spades is going to be my choice just because I like my shape a little bit better. And I wouldn't mind playing a game, especially on maybe a club lead. That could be really good for us. So I'm going to stretch just a little bit here because we're vulnerable, and I want to make the most natural bid. I hate bringing the robot into the decision-making process. I want to kind of take control, but I just think 2 no trump is not really doing a great job of describing what I think is a little extra value, and also I'm not sure if that's even going to be the right spot, right? So here, let's make a natural bid, see what partner does, and okay, they kick it into game, which I'm a little happier with it before I see the dummy, and I'm more happy now that I see this hand. That's wonderful over there. The only thing I'm worried about is a club rough right away, and that's because they open a club on my right and they're leading a low club on my left. And I have a trump loser. So one thing I should know, though, is I no longer have a heart loser. Right? Take a look. That ace king of diamonds is going to take care of some really easy issue in our hand, and let's see if righty is going to do anything about that. Okay. Here we have no choice. We're going to cover. We're hoping it holds. It doesn't. Now we know we're losing a club on the side as well. And here comes a heart. Let's take a look. Here, I'm just going to play this because it's my only chance, and now I'm just going to cross the dummy and pitch. And now we have to hope that our lefty has some spades. Let's have that ace lefty. There we go. And now we'll just get to the point of going down one. All right. We will claim one loser. Oh, excuse me. We will just actually play this out. And we're just going to exit the 10 of clubs at some point. Give them their trick. We can't get rid of it, unfortunately. And look at the robot. Look at that. That is ridiculous. They have to be, they have to duck and just say, yeah, I know I can do this. But I've seen that go bad for the robots, so that's always fun when that happens. No way to make this, I don't think. Not on a club lead for sure. As you can see, it's always going to result in a club, 2 spades for the opponent, and at some point another club. Right, we just can't burn our entries, or a heart at some point as well. A heart lead would have been pretty awful for us also. In fact, a heart lead I think is worse. Does that nip us another trick if they lead a heart? No, it's the same. It looks like. I guess they don't have enough to do. All right, so we will take that. We will take that. I would guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the opponents are playing a part score. We did bid quite aggressively, but I'm not upset being in this game. I liked it when the dummy came down, so we can't be too bad. Yeah, thanks, Taylor. Sorry about that. Greasy 2 spades. I like it. All right, so take a look, folks. 2 diamonds to your right. Make your call. This is an interesting one. Make your bid, folks. 2 diamonds opened on your right. And yeah, for those of you that jumped in a little late, this is last week I did my usual weekly challenge, and I kind of had a mini vacation after. But the last 3 days never got loaded. And usually, like every couple of months, I go in and I kind of purge all of the raw footage videos that I've created and just delete them. And yeah, I'm calling those the lost episodes. We ended up tying the robot last week in that challenge, but this is a live version to just give you guys something to look at in lieu of those. So apologies for the mix-up last week. This is super weird. We want to have an opening hand or better usually to make an overcall in this position. However, our heart suit is so good, and we also know something very specific on this hand. What is it, folks? What do we know? Well, we know everyone has 10 points. It's a best hand tournament. So we know every single person has 10 points around this table. So in reality, I would bid 2 hearts. But in practicality, I don't know if it's right. Here's what I don't want. I would love to bid 2 hearts and have it go all pass. The problem is, with partner having a 10 count, I don't know what they're going to do. They might Q bid. They might even just snap bid a game. I'm worried about this. Because I don't think we rate to make a lot of games unless partner has like the perfect 10 count. Because of our shape, we're 6-3-2-2. So, I mean, this is brutal. I hate it. Because honestly, if you had me at a club, I would probably just insta bid 2 hearts. Even though I do not think my hand is great, I think the quality of the suit gets it towards that opening bid level, so I'm okay with it. But knowing that everyone has 10 points and knowing how aggressive the robot can be when we overcall, I'm going to give it to you guys. You guys have to decide. I can't decide. I want to do one of 2 things. I want to either pass or I want to bid 2 hearts. So I'm going to give you those chances. And here's the thing, folks. In a realistic sense, I usually would bid 2 hearts, as I said, but here we do know something specific, and it's that everyone at the table has 10 points. And what we're trying to do, the goal in an imp format when we're unsure, we're trying to pick our best potential place to go plus. Right? And this, if you've listened to any Gavin's lessons, this is something that he just drives home constantly, right? Gavin's talking about specifically in any spot where we're playing imps, we're looking for our most reasonable chance to get a plus score. So 2 hearts, I find that that's not the most unreasonable place to get a plus score if partner's going to be passing, right? Or if partner's not going to punish us by going too far in the auction. The issue is by bidding 2 hearts, knowing partner has 10, we might just see, we might just get too high too quickly on a split, on a known split deckhand, right? So I'm giving it to you guys. I'm going to give it, let me give it like 30 seconds more. So pop your bid in there. Vulnerability is right up top, folks. If you're wondering, they are vulnerable and we are not, right? So the risk level is a little less for us. That's the vulnerability, Richard, right there. Carol, if you have a blurry video feed, it just means you're buffering. It usually rectifies in about 5 or 10 seconds. So, and if you still have trouble, guys, refresh your screen, and you'll frequently see that the video is more clear for you. All right, here we go, folks. I'm going to end the poll, and it looks like we're all bidders here, or most of you are. No, David, very good question. I don't think the robots are aware of the best hand part of the strategy, right? They are kind of playing bridge, right, without any extra knowledge, whereas we have the knowledge that the best hands are around the table. So here, 81% of you say that we're bidding 2 hearts, and here we go. Okay, there's the Q bid that we can expect. We're going to sign off. Let's go, Pat. No! No, they bid. Okay, they bid 3-0 though. The question is, do we want to pass 3-0 or do we want to bid? I'm a passer because I think if we're 10 opposite 10, I think we rate to take 9 tricks easier than 10 tricks, right? Especially if partner has reasonable stoppers, which is what they're showing. This is a weird choice for the robots, I'm not going to lie. It's a weird choice for the robots because usually when they know they have a 9-card major suit fit, they play in the major always. So I would guess there's a chunky diamond holding over there, or I'm just totally wrong. But here, I'm okay. This is a game I'm happy to play when I have 6 hearts and I know my partner has 3 of them. But I mean, I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's find out. Okay. All right. Well, how many diamonds does West have, folks? Take a moment. How many diamonds does the West player have? You can see partner's problem here. And now I wish I bid 4 hearts, probably. Let's see. 1, 0. It's not too bad. Yeah, partner. Lefty has 0 diamonds, which is nice. The best part about this is we should recognize hearts is getting destroyed, right? If they defend well, right? And what I mean by defend well is they either lead a spade to east or a club to east and get their diamond rough and go back and forth. So hearts is just getting pummeled on this deal, but no trump has some life. Not a lot of it, folks, but it has some life. We need the queen of hearts to be on side and the hearts to be breaking. So obviously we're going to win this king over here, and I'm going to put the 10 of hearts on the table. And we're going to cross our fingers. And as usual, the finesse loses because it's bridge base. All right, here they go. They found out that they had spades. I would guess lefty has length in spades, so we're in trouble. Ooh, good. Find your way to partner's hand. There we go. Block that suit. All right, so now we just get to the business of, I would love to sneak a club in right now, to be fair. I'm not going to because I don't think it's really going to be snuck in to the best possible trick-taking count. I think they're just going to take a bunch of tricks if they get in with a club. So I'm going to take the maximum I can and then just lead a club at the end. And just make sure you play the king or the queen to promote a trick. But as expected, they either have a spade or a diamond winner in that hand. And we'll take our minus 100. So here it is, folks. Let's look at this, though. Wait a second there. Look at that spade fit they had. I forgot to mention that during the play, but let's look at the other screen here. If we pass, do you think lefty? I have lefty would probably pass. And we would be playing 2 diamonds undoubled and wrecking it. But look at lefty. If they bid spades, they may find their way to not the worst spade contract, I got to say. So interesting spot here. As I said, in hindsight, I guess we prefer to pass, right? And this is the beauty of playing a best hand tournament. If you take a moment, you might get there. We almost got there, right? But I like the audience bidding, right? If we can play this together, I'm a fan, right? So guys, maybe not the best bid from you guys this time, but you're not gonna hit a home run every time like you usually do. All right, let's see. 15 point boom. Honestly, it brightens my day when I see a no trump opener when I open my hand. It's just, I know everything is going to be okay when that happens. Weird choices by robots. Right? They play super weird minor suit transfers. Next month on bridge lesson, I'm doing a minor suit transfers, the expert standard method. So check that out. I'll be advertising it next week in the section. But it's worthwhile to play a good, solid expert standard minor suit transfers because it gives you all of the tools you need to be successful and all the ones you're used to using. Right? So here, wow, we love 3 clubs. Amazing. Good job, partner. Right, so spade lead, amazing for us, right? We might even be able to set up a pitch in this situation and recognize the very important concept that I'm about to show you. If you're worried or wondering whether you should play the jack from dummy, when you have the exact same card on both sides of the table, and what I mean by that is they basically are the same because we have them both, right? The jack and the 10, the queen and the jack, the king and the queen, so on and so forth. The same value card, essentially. We never, ever, unless we really need an entry, are going to play the card from the dummy first. We're going to play low, and that just gives us now extra stopper stuff in our hand, basically. And now look at the robot. They're so dirty, I gotta say. That they get off to the perfect switch here, which is the heart. And notice why that is. We may have been able to pitch away that heart if the queen of spades was on side, but they're going to put us to this test right away. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the auction. Yeah, good. Okay. And here, not the worst case, because now we know we're going to be able to pitch a diamond, and now it doesn't matter where the queen of spades is, but as it turns out, it was on side. Now, trump is going to be a quick process. We want to draw the trumps as quickly as possible. We have no other losers outside of that suit. And boom, boom. We'll take 10 tricks. All right, we're going to duck that over to the queen. We have 2 ways to pitch the diamond. We can take it any way we prefer, but we will go plus 130, and that's probably the best we're going to do, and I would say that is a flat result, folks. The robot will not do anything differently. Look at how easy that was for us. Ooh, this is my type of hand right here. I'm going to start us off. 1 club, 1 heart, 1 no trump. Make your bid, folks. Make your call. What will you do with this hand? You opened, or your partner opened a club, you responded 1 heart, and they bid 1 no trump. What do you do? There are a number of correct answers to this, I have to say. I will accept many answers to this question because it's dependent on what type of agreement you might have with your partner, but also maybe the knowledge of a bid that Trevor has put in there as well. That's a pretty reasonable choice. Bob has a reasonable choice in there as well. Definitely don't want to be, we don't want to be putting ourselves in no trump yet, folks. Here is what we know. We know we have game, but we should not be confident on where that game is yet. We could still have game in hearts, right? Because partner has only denied 4 cards in the heart suit. Now, in the modern game, you may also have a 4-4 spade fit, okay? And that's because when North is very balanced with 4 spades in the modern game, we are going to be kind of showing our no trump shape rather than our spades. And we'll get back to that with conventions like 2 diamonds, which, as Jeff and Trevor, or not Trevor, Jeff and Bob had looked at, that is new minor forcing. So 2 diamonds would be reasonable here, and that would show at least invitational values. And just looking for knowledge on whether or not we can play in a major suit. The other bid is the reverse by responder, which is game forcing and natural, right? And in fact, it will show 5 hearts and 4 spades because we would never need to do this on an auction like this if we didn't have a reason to be going forward in a major. If we were 4-4 in the majors, we would just bid some no trump here, or we bid new minor if we were worried about partner having 4 spades. But here, we should know that, okay, I get to game force. That's even better than new minor forcing, and I get to show my shape. And partner has said, look, I do not have a fit in hearts, and I certainly don't have a fit in spades either, but I'm just showing you my diamonds here. And yes, we should be absolutely sure the robots will bid because look at the description. We've seen this together in the challenge before where the robots have passed a seemingly forcing bid. When you see this notation on the top, though, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong screen here. So when you see this one, You see forcing to 3-0, you know they can't bid. Or if you just see forcing, it's okay. When you don't see specifically the word forcing, there's doubt, all right, with the robots at play. So be careful in those spots. Always take a look at this. But yes, this reverse by responder is just understood to be game forcing unless you have no other description. If you play two-way new minor forcing, you might have different agreements as to what this bid might be because you have another way to game force. But here, it's the best because we get to game force right away. And now that we've confirmed that we do not have a trump fit, we can now safely bid 3-0 trump and be happy we're in the right spot. And honestly, we're not unhappy to not find a fit because our hand is amazing, right? We have a very good hand with extra values, and our partner has certainly opened the bidding, so we know we're going to have what we hope is a relatively easy time. However, when dummy comes down, we have some finessing to take care of. So take a moment, folks. Count your winners first and make your play to trick one. And recognize, folks, we're playing from the north hand as declare. So that's our declare there. So the lead here is coming this way. Okay, so east is the one that has made the opening lead, and we're playing from this hand first. So count your winners and also make your play from dummy, folks. What do you play? Jeff, that would be great if you played, especially if you play two-way new minor forcing, right? Because then you can make your game forcing version. You can also just always use new minor forcing. A lot of partnerships agree to that. This is just a more specific way to game force, and especially as it's effective with the robots because it will make sure you have no further issues going forward, right? Sometimes if you play just one version of new minor forcing, there's doubts as to what's the forcing bid after partner's response, right? When you get to game force and it's clear, and it's just always a natural bid. When responder reverses, it's understood to be game forcing. So it's a nice solution to this issue here. You'll only see it really with this shape, to be honest, almost always, right? You're rarely going to see it in other spots. Yeah, so here I have 3 clubs, 1 diamond for 4, 1 spade for 5, and 1 heart for 6. I have extra tricks in a lot of different spots, right? Clubs possibly, hearts for sure. All right, so here the secondary question was, what do we play? And the answer is 100% of the time you play the queen. You cannot afford to play low because if you play low, it makes no difference where the king of diamonds is. You're always going to lose this trick. Whereas if the king of diamonds is here and in a real game, it rates to be here way more often than not. Right, because they've just led forth best. They've revealed strength in this suit. So here it is super important to play the queen. If I add a diamond here, let's say I have 3 diamonds, now it is not as important to play the queen. Now I can play low for 1 round because I can always come back to the protected queen later, right, by getting rid of this card. But when I only have 2, I can't strand the singleton king there, so I just must play it. And unfortunately, there's the king. Make your play, folks. Do you want to win the ace or you want to play low? All right, so the queen, and I don't want you to think playing the queen was wrong here, folks. It's unlucky that the king is in the West player's hand. If you played low, there was 0 chance they were playing the king, right? They were going to play like the 8 or the 9, and the ace was going to get forced out. And now we are stuck with that singleton queen and dummy that is just done, right? So here, very important that we play the queen, and when it's wrong, now we make the hold-up play. We're in danger in diamonds. We want to disrupt their communication because we have work to do, and that work may result in losers for us, especially in that heart suit, right? So we have to make sure that if we do lose that trick, we at least lessen their ability to lead the suit that's the most dangerous for us, which is diamonds. The other benefit we have for those of you that are familiar with the robots is they like to switch, and if they decide to switch to a club or a spade, we will happily accept that switch. Here, we're going to duck 1 more time, and then we'll see if they decide to play another diamond. Maybe they're already blocked. No, okay. So now it's time to win, right? And here, I'm going to pitch a spade. And here, it looks like we could have won the last trick as well. Look at that, folks. We ducked 1 too many times, as it turns out, because East was out of diamonds on the last trick, right? So here, we win the ace, and now the question is, what do we get to playing? And what was that pitch there? Let's see. That was a spade, I believe, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The seven of spades. Very beautiful. All right. So they've pitched a spade. They haven't pitched any clubs or hearts. We have to understand that. Well, let's count our winners first. We have one already. Let's assume that clubs are breaking. Let's give ourselves in. By the way, it's not a safe assumption considering what we've already seen, but let's just be a little rosy again. This is kind of how we're going to get to our strategy. How many winners do we have left if all clubs are winners? This is how we're going to get to the best strategy. So we've taken one already, right? And if we take 5 more clubs, that's 6. The ace of hearts, that's 7. The ace of spades, that's 8. So I don't have 9 tricks yet. So even if clubs are amazing, right, I don't have 9 tricks. So what I'm trying to make sure you're aware of is you're going to have to take a heart finesse on this hand, right? In fact, you might have to take more than one. And that's just the way we're going to determine whether or not we're going to take that finesse is, do we have 9 tricks or not without it? And we don't, right? Even if things go really well for us. I mean, I love seeing that 10 of clubs there. If we can see the jack behind it. This might be getting a little ugly for us here. I'm going to pitch a spade again. And there we go. Okay, so now we know the clubs did not break. And now we know why we saw the 10 of clubs. They were just making sure we couldn't take some sort of weird deep finesse against them for all of the suit. And here we have to recognize, okay, 4 winners. What do we have left? Well, 1 spade is 5, 1 heart is 6. That's not enough. But I might be able to still get this done if hearts are 3-3 and the king of hearts is on my right. And honestly, that's my only play at this point. So here I play low to the jack. If this loses, they're going to cash a bunch of diamonds. But now I'll just hold on to hearts at the end and hope that's okay. I will also know that they cannot hurt me in clubs on my left, right? So the diamond plays, we knew this was going to be our down. But we also are making it super easy knowing what to pitch, right? And now we can claim the rest. Only down 1, we will take it. And we are about to get served with a result. Let's see. I think board 3 might have been good for us, I'm just saying. Oh, we lost by 1. No. Check it out. Board 3 was good for us, but board 6 was terrible for us. And that is because the opponents played 4 spades on that hand. Let's take a look at the result there. We lost by 1. And let's go over to that. And honestly, this is usually our best version against the robot. Let's see what they did at their table. 3-0 trump. There it is. 3-0 trump in the north, down 2. So here's where we decided to bid 2 hearts, guys. And we're not assessing any blame at all, but here we could have passed with our 10 count, and that pass would have resulted in this auction. They would have bid 2. That's crazy, man. They would have bid 2 spades with left-hand opponent's hand, and of course, East with their absolute maximum 10 count, and 3-card spade support would have bid 4 spades, and they just go minus that way, unfortunately. They go down 2 on this contract because it looks like, let's see, could they have made this? I thought maybe they had a chance on certain leads. Yeah, only on certain leads. On a trump lead, they have no chance to get rid of their heart losers, as you guys can see. And they're never setting up diamonds and getting able to get there to take those diamond tricks. So brutal disaster. If we pass, we win. If we bid 2 hearts, we lose 7 on that board. That's too bad. This other one over here, we lost 1 imp. Oh, wrong screen. We lost 1 imp on this 2 spade contract. They took 1 extra trick, which is amazing. I thought we did pretty well to take. Did they lead the queen of hearts at some point here, maybe? Heart through. This is kind of the same. They ducked the club originally. That's what happened. So there it went, queen. And now heart to the ace, club to the ace. Wow, well done, robot. They actually roughed out clubs on this hand. They somehow knew the clubs were 3-3. Pretty good job by the robots. And now watch this. They actually just duck a spade. Oh, no, they played to the king and the 10. I mean, what a weird play by the robots. I don't understand what they're doing over here. They gained an imp. Congratulations. This result here was the one that crushed us. And here, we knew this was going to be good, right? When they open a diamond on this one, they're just not going to get the game. When we open a no trump, we get there. And this first one, they did choose to open 2 clubs. Take a look, folks. They had the same auction we did, basically. They had to kind of bite the bullet and play 3-0 Trump. So, guys, I mean, not the best result. We lost by one, but really, one board took it to us, right? We knew we were going to kind of be ahead on that 3-0, but on this one here, where we ended up playing 3-0, we needed to just go plus in some other way, and that was going to be defending 4 spades, unfortunately. All right, we'll try again next time. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is a version of our weekly challenge, except all together in one live broadcast. We only played 8 boards this time, but I hope this was a nice payback for missing those 3 episodes last week. And I'll try to do more of these. These are kind of fun, and maybe next time we do one of these live ones, we'll just do a different format, right? We have lots to choose from now. We will play match points sometimes. We'll also play some non-best hand versions, because those are really great for just real bridge problems, folks. As you can see in the ones we've started so far, you're seeing hands where you have to preempt, right? Where you have to decide whether or not to sacrifice. Those are real bridge decisions, at least in the bidding, as we've seen. We'll try to get the robots up to speed in the playing defense in the future, so we can have more productive discussions live in those situations as well. So thank you guys so much for joining, and for anyone watching our replay, I hope you enjoyed this live challenge. I will see you guys very soon, either here or on bridgelesson.com. Take care, everybody.